This episode of The Couch is proudly supported by Oporto Chicken. Fresh, not frozen, grilled, not fried. And Scoot Airlines. Get out of here with Scoot.
Hello Australia, welcome to The Couch, episode 565. Hope you can stick around, we've got a big show ahead of us. Bitchin' is back, we've got Ted, we've got Natalie, we've got Chris coming up talking about great topics as well. Later on, the 2014 Telethon Child, there they are there. Telethon Child 2014, Emily Price coming in for a chat. We have got a big interview with Soa the Hulk. We'll talk about his brand new book. Later on, we give you another chance at winning $300 worth of board games, thanks to Crown and Andrews. Invala's coming in to open the show. Big show, stick around. 565, thanks to Scoot and Oporto.
Showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred and the best in town. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch.
Oh, aren't they a fantastic group of people? But I'm a better group of person. Oh, thank you very much. Upstaging me all the time, but they're going to do that very, very quickly on the couch very soon. To open the show today is Invala, local band, fantastic song called Light It Up. Here they are, opening the show.
Take me back to yesterday, to that very place where I found you. Walk the path guided by you, and help me see the eternal truth. 'Cause we are the kings and we're fighting for our throne. So light it up, there's a fire that burns inside. Deep and dry these tears to make me weep, 'cause I'm completely left in awe of you. I'm valued by the innocence of truth, 'cause we are the kings and we're fighting for our throne. So light it up, there's a fire that burns inside. 'Cause we are the kings and we're fighting for our throne. So light it up, there's a fire that burns inside. Made up, lift me up. Couldn't do this without you. Scars will remain. This tragedy will begin to shape you. 'Cause we are the kings and we're fighting for our throne. So light it up, there's a fire that burns inside. 'Cause we are the kings and we're fighting for our throne. So light it up, there's a fire that burns inside. 'Cause we are the kings and we're fighting for our throne. So light it up, there's a fire that burns inside.
Time for a good bitch, and we've got the best in town, the bitches that is. They're here today to talk about the topics making news to them all around the world, or trending on the news articles online as well. Let's introduce them today. Ted Bull from Curtin FM, welcome.
Lovely to be here once again, and obviously what I'm talking about today is quite shallow.
Is that, you're not talking about Trump again, are you? You said shallow. Nat Foster from the RSPCA, how you going?
I'm great. Got
What
my
are you
best
talking
friend
about?
over here from
Do you want to say hello to her? We'll maybe
From
show her
Newcastle?
later.
Yeah,
She's
hi,
a
Shay.
Novocastrian.
We'll
Comes
take
up,
a shot of
babes.
Shay later and say hello to her. She's
Yeah.
from Newcastle, and I can see her
She's
over
a
there.
Nova.
She's a ranger. She used to be an RSPCA inspector and my best mate. I know, isn't it? I'm talking about chocolate today.
Thank you, chocolate.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
one of my great loves.
And let's welcome for the first time on the couch on Bitchin, Chris Ilsley from 882 6PR.
I'm just
Perth
trying
tonight.
to work out how the hell do you match the RSPCA with chocolate?
Yeah, well,
Can't
that's
even
I know.
give chocolate to
Can't
dogs.
give dogs chocolate.
No, but I can get chocolate. That's what they pay me.
I
Exactly.
see.
Welcome. What are you
Chocolate.
talking about, Chris?
Tattoos.
Tattoos.
Yeah.
Well, let's go straight to Chris. Your story
Yeah.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tattoos. We've got a
copious
couple
amounts
here.
thereof. Yeah, there's been a decision from the Fair Work Ombudsman that employers can say, you know something, if you've got tattoos, it's a no-go.
You can discriminate.
Yeah.
Serious.
There's been because it comes down to a case with an airline and a woman who had a little anchor tattooed on her
Qantas.
ankle.
That's it. I heard the story. Qantas knocked her back, didn't
Yeah.
they, for a job?
Really?
Yes.
And what happened was the case went to the Fair Work Ombudsman and they said, well, given this circumstance, it actually
is there.
relates to appearance. There it is there.
But what about Popeye the Sailor Man?
Nothing.
He's covered in these tattoos
Yeah, but he wasn't flying, he was sailing in his own boat. So I
Yeah,
guess
that's
Pretty much
And the
they ruled.
Eagles, obviously Eagles supporters, that's why they've knocked her
So
off.
she didn't
Oh,
get
yeah,
the
you
job
can't.
and they were allowed to rule against her.
Yeah, because
you
it
think?
comes down to an appearance thing, apparently.
Oh, that's
Look,
rubbish.
there would be certain circumstances. I'll give you an example. If you were working in a professional office and you had a sleeve tattoo up your arm and that was the receptionist, I don't know that would be appropriate.
And it depends what it says
I
on there too.
You know, because you got to look at the client, and it has to be. It's like a lot of things. I mean, for example, if you're working in an office, you're presentable, you're dressed up. Conversely, if you're working on a building site, you're not dressed like old respectable tent.
I
Well,
guess-
that's because I'm
That's
covering
your
up
job.
my tat.
And I guess if
Because
you
I
were-
have a tat.
Show us your tat.
I come up now. Next
I've
time
seen
I
it
come on,
before,
I'll show
don't
you
It's
my
on his ass cheek, you don't
I
want to see
wouldn't
it.
worry about I wouldn't worry about a small thing
I
like
thought you
that.
said it was on air. If I'd known it was on your
That's
ass
it,
cheek,
it's
I wouldn't
there.
even have raised
It
it.
is there.
I guess if you were working at the Liberal Party, for example, and you had a tattoo saying "I love Rudd," that wouldn't be appropriate.
Oh, I don't think anybody loves Rudd apart from
No
Rudd.
No one
End
would
of the
believe
day-
it. They wouldn't believe it was a real tattoo.
Surely it's just an appearance thing. I've got tattoos.
Has it ever
I-
stopped you, Natalie, getting a job or people
No.
looking? I mean, people
No.
always look at someone with tattoos.
Not
They
in
do.
2016.
No, and look,
Then you
I
work for the
have.
RSPCA,
It
so we
doesn't
can
matter,
kind of
though.
say that's kind of appropriate.
Yeah, well,
really.
that is kind of appropriate, but at the end of the day, it's just a tattoo. It doesn't define who you are as a
Certainly
person.
doesn't
Not if you
define
can
who
do
you
the
And I
are.
certainly wouldn't have a problem with unless she's rubbing her little tattoo in my face as she's serving me my cocktails on Qantas.
and
I
I
don't
might
have
be
an
quite
issue
happy
with
with
it.
that.
And
I
why
probably
couldn't
would
she
be.
just put a little
Band-aid or something.
Band-aid over it if she wanted
I
to?
think it's disgusting.
Look, I think it's a sad state of events because, you know, like I know a friend that works at Burswood and I know they can't wear earrings for, you know, the little pierced earrings. They
Oh,
need
yeah,
to take them
yeah.
out. Also in the tongue, they can't
Yeah.
have them because they have a rule that all their staff are not to wear piercings, male or female. So that's a rule that they have.
But if you know the rule before you go there, fair enough.
That's
but,
fair
you
enough,
know.
yeah.
But you
So-
can take those sorts of things out.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, some of the nicest people I know are covered head to toe in tattoos, and some of the nastiest people I
Some
know,
of the biggest stars
or
I
the
don't
most
have a tattoo
unpleasant,
at all.
are what we call clean skins, and they don't have a single tattoo.
So is this going to go anywhere? Do you think it'll go further where someone might challenge it?
Well, no, basically a decision's been made by the responsible commission, in this case the Fair Work Ombudsman. So
And
I
that's it?
suspect the answer is no. It comes down to an appearance thing. Look, they do say that there are exceptions. One of the exceptions being, for example, if tattoos are cultural, Maoris would be a good example, where tattoos are cultural. Then it could be seen as an act of discrimination on the basis of race, which brings you into a completely different act.
yeah.
But this is about presentation. I suppose it'd be like turning up for work in an office, looking a bit scruffy and being told to go home and get
But
dressed.
you know
But
what?
tattoo is art. I love tattoos.
And I was recently on a Qantas aeroplane, and not once did I perv on the hosties. I can't use that word
No, you
today.
can't. Yes,
you did.
The
Yes,
air,
you did. You were
No, at her ankle. I'm not an ankle
I
looker.
didn't know you were
you're
a
more
high
an
club.
arse man.
Come on, hang on a second.
I don't know whether she had a tattoo there or not,
I've got some
Natty.
information from a website.
Yeah.
Ted Bull foot fetishist. He was looking below the ankle.
Well, I never thought you sat in the seat. I thought you were part of the Mile High Club, one of those things.
Oh, we went there.
Put it this
Too
way, I
old
can't
for
even
that
fit
now.
into the toilets in the place.
No longer the Mile High
Nat,
Club.
what's your story?
Look, my next
2
tattoo,
centimetre
speaking of
club.
tattoo, is going to be a big chest tattoo, and it's going to have Cadbury's Dairy Milk right across my bosomies.
What's the point in that?
Well,
You
because I
can't
love
eat
it. No, but
You
I can just
can.
lick my own chest if I get a little bit. I'll just put
Hey, where are we going here?
Oh, okay. So we're going to Melbourne. There's the Reservoir store in Melbourne, and their chocolate has been getting opened, and people have been consuming
Yes,
chocolate.
while they're walking around, they've been
While
eating
they're
the chocolate. There it is there.
I mean-
it's Kmart, isn't
So
it?
it's
like the record store.
yeah, I think it is
It's Kmart,
Kmart.
yes.
So what's happening is,
Can't knock
they-
off
and
the
they're
choc.
only going for the Cadbury. They're only
Yes.
going for the good stuff.
Really?
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And they're putting them in these DVD
They're obviously
covers.
Australian made.
What about the lint?
Well, no, they don't
There's
want
no
the
lint
They're
in them,
going.
there's chocolate.
No,
It's too
and
expensive.
Oh, Lindt chocolate. I thought you meant.
It's
chocolate.
It's Kmart, but you know what would be more annoying? Those blister packs. You know those blister packs that nobody can actually physically open.
Well, these are all wrapped.
Teeth, and you've got to get your scissors out there. But Cadbury's are making them smaller anyway, and
Yeah,
then you've
they've
got
made them down to 200 grams
exactly.
now. They've dropped
So-
them.
and then
It's
you've
still
got
same
people
price.
eating it. Has anyone ever done that?
What?
I've
knock
never.
off choc?
I've opened up a packet of
Me?
orange balls.
Oh,
You've had a-
really?
Yeah,
Sorry?
orange balls.
Where did you get orange balls from?
I can't
But-
remember.
but
Jaffas.
No, they're not Jaffas. They're so much.
Yeah,
they're
they're
called
bigger,
BB.
aren't they?
They're called
Yeah.
BB balls.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're and you just
You
fill
can
your
get
mouth
lime
with
ones
you,
too.
You
That's
fill your
the
mouth
funny.
with balls.
I don't mean to be rude, but I
Hang
never
on.
thought you'd be a ball person. I mean,
No, but with these balls, I'll stick in as many as I can. So I have done the shopping where I've put a couple in.
Don't even
And by
worry
the
Several
time I
comments, none I'm going to make
by
here.
the time I finish the shopping, I've got half a bag. So
balls
in your mouth,
half a
yeah.
bag of balls. So I'm always fun at a party. So they have
is this
done
done
this.
as an ongoing thing? Because I did
Well, it
see it on
must
the
be.
news. So basically, it's stopping people stealing their
You're
chocolate.
going to have some really unhappy premenstrual women going to Kmart, not being able
And
to get
there's
in.
nothing worse than unhappy
I have-
premenstrual
I know.
women.
Just give
I
out
know
the
what I'm
chocolate.
like. Oh,
What do you
cannot
reckon
put
about
up
this?
with me.
Would you put up with it? The
Oh
wrapping of
no,
chocolate?
no, I'm totally against it. I really
Have
am.
you ever had something in a shop where you've eaten it on the run
Yeah.
and then paid for it then? Because I do that with drinks. Because I'm diabetic and sometimes I get a bit of a low, so I get a can of Coke
yeah,
or
yeah.
bottle and I drink it, but I always pay for it
Always
on the way
take
out.
your empty
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
with you.
and
And
people
they're not paying for it. That's the
Halo
problem.
moment, never done it.
never done it at all.
Really?
But
Never
would you do
done
it? Would you see it a problem if you say you were diabetic and you were getting a bit of a
Yeah.
flush,
Yeah.
and would you just do it and pay for it?
Wouldn't have a problem with anyone doing as long as you pay for
Exactly.
it. I mean, I don't see there's any big drama. But
Do you
these
try grapes? Because I've mentioned
Oh,
grapes.
if they have
earlier.
if they have
for trying
samples out,
grapes,
please
yeah.
try.
No,
yes,
but they're
yeah.
not sampling. But I want to make sure there's no seeds in the grapes, so I'll pop one in my mouth.
What's wrong with the seeds?
Yeah,
I don't want the seeds.
And I
Don't
love
eat the
those.
No, I
seeds.
don't.
Eat the
I don't
seeds.
eat
I
the
just
seeds.
swallow them.
You know those little plastic containers that have little
I eat
bits
the
of
seeds,
fruit
the whole
in
grapes
them
all
in
too.
there.
I always try them.
Yeah, but they're out to be eaten.
Oh
aren't
yeah, I
they?
know.
So,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
So
mind.
have you? None of you have
Because I've had
ever
my
eaten
fill.
something while
I
you're
stand
walking
there for
through?
an hour and a half. Oh no, not me.
Would you ever? So you would?
Look
You
at this
said you
face,
swallow the
purely
seed.
innocent.
But you see, I'm pushing the trolley. If I'm ever in there, it's only because I'm pushing the trolley for Bernadette.
look-
So
No.
my hands are occupied.
I'm a klepto
Yeah.
when it comes to food.
Yeah.
And I do pay for it at the end though.
Yeah,
Oh
good.
yeah, that's.
But you,
So how do you eat? How do you pay for the grapes that you've swallowed?
oh well, you
Yeah,
know.
hold
She saves the seeds,
got to
and she puts the seeds on the
I don't
checkout
actually.
chicks.
You
I
hold
don't
up-
actually pay for that.
You hold it up, devoid of all the
You
grapes,
hold
and
them in
say,
your hands.
"I want to
There was
pay
a
for
couple
these."
on here.
How much was on there? Oh, I don't know.
I only try one or two, and that's quality. I'm just
Okay.
quality assurance.
Fair enough. Ted, what's your story today?
My story is about the eating habits of. I nearly said billionaires because of play on words
yes.
of billionaires, but billionaires. And the one that grabbed me is Donald Trump,
Yeah, he's
who
been
they
in the
say
news.
is probably one of the healthiest potential presidents they've ever had. And I find it fascinating that this man will eat anything but still spew vitriol. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? And it seems that Donny, or Donald, or his Trumpness, will... The only thing I think he probably hasn't eaten is the dead squirrel that owned the fur that sits on top of his head.
Talking about Donald Trump.
Yes.
Talking about Donald Trump, he came out a couple of days ago.
Did he?
saying-
I had no idea.
Well, no, not that sort of.
Wow.
Not quite yet.
His wife
Not quite
seems
yet. I don't
lovely.
think he wants the vote of the gay community. But
okay.
he came out and said basically the gloves are off now. He's going to play tough. But I haven't known him not to be tough for the last 6 months.
no.
nearly a year.
Maybe there is a possibility he could get even nastier.
Do you reckon he's going to win? Because a
really?
lot of people said, "Nah, he'd never win." Now they're all saying we were wrong. He could actually win.
No,
this
he won't.
election.
Look, I don't think he's going to beat Hillary, but he may give him he may do better than many expect. Because every time somebody said, "Look at what Trump said, isn't this outrageous?" He's gone, "Yeah, and I mean it."
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and people have warned him. The one thing I always said with Trump was people don't realise that he is really tapping into disaffected people.
And
People who believe they've been silenced. Trump's standing up and
Chris,
saying,
and
"Guess
can
what?"
I add to the seriousness of this conversation by saying perhaps he could be the next boss of the United Nations? I mean, now that Kevin 07 has been done over by Mel the Man.
Well, we've got a couple of minutes. We can talk about that as well. While we've got a couple of minutes, Kevin Rudd dumped by the Malcolm.
He's a very
Turnbull
wealthy man too, and I don't know whether he has.
Is he wealthy or is
Oh,
he
no.
wealthy because he
His
married
wife.
the right woman?
Exactly.
I think it's
from
his
the
wife's
wife.
I think
Well,
it's his
it's a
wife
shame.
who's wealthy, Therese Rain. I think
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
from
I
her.
think
Put
he's
it this
okay.
way,
I
do
mean,
you
if you've
think-
been Prime Minister, you've got a few bob, you know.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
compared to her, she's got about 30
Yeah,
mil or
she's
something.
one of the
really?
Oh,
Australians.
mate, what
One
he
of
earned in the
Australia's
lodge was
wealthy.
change for the Coke machine, seriously.
Yeah, and I don't think he's
She's the
shopping
wealthy
himself.
one. She's the brains of that
Panel,
outfit.
what do you think? Malcolm Turnbull's obviously done a bit of a turncoat, and he's got 3 letters that he's released,
Yep.
Kevin Rudd, saying
Yep.
that he was given assurance by this government that they were going to vote for him.
Yeah.
Julie Bishop actually supported him in cabinet, the rest knocked him. Do you reckon we should have? Because I'll give you my view. My view is I would rather
I thought you were asking me.
Well, I'll give you my view first, then you can sort of give yours.
Yeah.
I believe that an Australian is always going to be better running the United Nations. Kevin Rudd was a Prime Minister. Forget what we thought about him personally. I think given that role, he could have made a big difference where it comes to Australia and the United Nations. And I think it's sad that we I
don't think he would have got the job anyway because he was competing against Helen Clark from New Zealand.
Helen Clark.
I
And
like
the
Helen.
New Zealand Prime Minister said that he'd love to see her and Kevin Rudd in a drag race. And I thought about
Oh, I
this.
don't
and
think she's a drag.
Well, no, but I thought if they got frocked up, I think in a drag race she would probably still win because
She'd win in all fronts. Yes,
got-
but in
I
in a
think-
physical contest, Kev the Rev
Definitely.
hasn't got any
Not a
hope.
chance.
no, and I
now-
think he'd trip over his head.
What do you think now? Do you reckon
Trip
it's sad
over
that
his
we
ego.
knocked him back? The way we
I
did
think they
publicly?
should have knocked him back. I think he's a psychopath. I'm not a fan. He's a
I think you're
narcissist.
understating it, Lee.
Yeah, I think I am. Thank you. No,
What
I
do you
think it was the
reckon?
right decision.
So
no way.
that was the right decision. What about
Absolutely.
you?
Hang on.
absolute-
He's got a flat in New York already, so we wouldn't have to pay his accommodation.
Oh, yes, we would.
great.
Do you reckon he
can
wouldn't
share
charge
with
him
Joe
flat
Exactly.
to Australia?
He'd be charging
geez.
rent.
This bit about
Sometimes I think
Australia.
I'm so innocent.
He could have shared with Joe Hockey.
Naive. Huh?
He could have shared with Joe
What?
Hockey.
No,
then,
Joe
that's-
Hockey lives in Washington in the ambassador's
Oh,
residence.
Two in the
But
bed,
Joe
the little
Hockey
one said.
wanted him. Joe Hockey was behind it.
As Graham Richardson said, the only people who like Kevin Rudd don't know him. So the Yanks think he's okay because they don't know him. Wait till
Yep.
they get to know
And the
him.
only people who like Tony Abbott are those who know him.
There you go.
That does happen. But
Isn't it
you
sad?
talked about Rudd in Australia. I'll give you a little
Yep.
tip about Rudd in Australia. Any connection between the two is purely coincidental because it's all about Rudd. And if Australia happens to benefit, it's only because Rudd's benefiting as well.
Well, he reckons
if
he-
Rudd had to sink the boots into Australia to get what he wanted, he wouldn't have
Absolutely.
any hesitation in doing it.
On that note,
Hear,
we
hear,
need to
Chris.
wrap it up. Thank you to Chris Ilsley from 6PR. Can
Thank
catch
you.
him 8 o'clock weeknights on 882 6PR and online 6pr.com.au on Perth tonight. And thank you for coming in for the first time. We hope to see you many times. RSPCA, anything happening that you want to plug in the next couple of months?
Yeah, of course, it's coming up is Cupcake Day. So
Again?
Yeah, that's coming up
Cool.
middle of August. So
Beautiful.
contact the RSPCA and get your cupcake
Beautiful.
things organised and raise money for
Cupcakeday.com.au.
animal cruelty, please.
Thank you, Nat and Ted Bull. Anything you want to plug?
No, I'd just like to say thank you very much, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Always wonderful.
Oh.
Curtin FM is where you'll catch him. Here on the couch is where you'll see him. Thank you very much to all our panel. We need to take a quick break. Be back with another legend in radio, Steve Collins, talking travel. Can't wait for that one. See you then. Well done, folks. Well, welcome back to the couch. It's such a nice pleasure to have you back in the studio, safe in Australia. Steve Collins from Radio Roaming. Welcome back.
Yes, but is Australia safe for me? Hello, Fred. Nice
Well,
to be
so much
back.
has changed.
You
while you've
know,
been
see
away.
how much weight I've lost? See, I've been walking through
Oh, look, these glasses aren't
Myanmar.
that good. Oh, yeah. I can see better now. Where are
Yeah,
you, Steve?
exactly
Oh,
right.
yes.
Yes, so there I am.
I
yeah.
hardly noticed you on camera. They had to we used to have 2 cameras
Yeah,
on
you
you.
used to have to use a fisheye lens to get me in, and you don't now. You need the narrow lens.
Where have you been? Because I asked you how to pronounce. You said Myanmar.
Myanmar, Burma. Myanmar is a Burmese name for Burma.
Burma.
So Burma, yeah.
What was Burma famous for? Because I remember when growing up, we all stayed away from there for some reason. There was a lot of instability.
Yeah, well, since the 1960s, basically, right up until about 2 years ago, there was a military dictatorship, and so it was pretty much a closed country. Well, now there's been a democracy, and there's a lot of foreign investment, and they're welcoming tourists, and
so it's a beautiful place to travel to.
I'll tell you what, it's a really beautiful place. And we've got a video here of the people of Myanmar.
The Yangon.
Yangon. Yangon is the main city. Look at that. These are just a whole pile of still shots I took. Because
have
Buddhism
lost
is very, very big there. There's Buddhist monks everywhere. The people are so friendly,
So I was
so
asking
happy.
you, what's the nationality there? Like, what's
Well,
the
Burmese
language?
is the main
Burmese,
nationality.
Yeah. No, because a lot of people on watching might be
but there's a
Thai.
lot of influences. The cuisine, for instance, it's Thai, Chinese, Indian influences
a lot
on the
of
cuisine,
influences.
and it's beautiful,
Are the
beautiful
people
food.
welcoming and really
Very,
nice to
very
you?
welcoming, particularly for me because I look like Buddha, and I was greeted everywhere.
Did
They
they
come
call
and
you
touch
boss?
my they call me Papa.
Papa.
Papa, yeah.
Well, that's nice.
I don't know why.
I better let Heather know in case there's
Yeah.
any paternity suits.
But the
Papa,
people
come
there are
home.
just so friendly.
It looks beautiful, very
But as you
relaxing.
can see, it's basically still an agrarian economy, and it's a very, very basic there. When they make roads, they're
Hmm.
still made literally by hand. People placing rock there, and then they rocks down, and then they literally melt the pitch and pour it on and stuff like
It
that.
does look really nice. Is
It
there
is.
a lot of tourists going there? So, like when you were around the
No,
streets,
not when
did you
I,
see
because I
many?
went in the off season. I like to go places in the off season,
Sort of beat
because
the
I'm off
tourists.
anyway. Beat the tourists, it's a really interesting place to go and visit. Now Yangon, this is which used to be known as Rangoon.
Rangoon.
Yeah, you might have heard of that. Rangoon has got, as I say, as a Buddhist, it has got the most incredible pagoda there, the Shwedagon Pagoda. Here it is. This is just enormous. You'll see better. This is over
It
100
looks
metres tall. It is 2,500 years old, and it's just incredible.
Is it only lit
It's
up at
huge.
night?
Well, yes, they only
Obviously
light
for
it
the
up at night
tourists.
because they don't need to light it up during the
It's
day.
beautiful, isn't it?
But it's open basically from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night. And all these are locals. There's thousands and thousands of locals go there and pray. And there's all these different Buddhas. And there's many different incantations of the Buddha. There's, and those kids there you saw, they're orphans. And what happens is these Buddhist temples take them in and they care for them. And so that's why you see so many kids there. You see girls are in sort of pink robes, and the boys are in their brown, red robes.
Is the pagoda open to everybody?
Yeah.
Or is it a religious place?
No, it's open to
Do
everybody.
you have to wear certain clothing to go in?
You can't wear short shorts, you can't show your
You have to
knees,
cover
and you
your
have
knees.
to be barefoot. Now, fortunately, walking barefoot through the temple is okay because it's all marble and it's really easy to walk on. Some of the other temples I've walked in other areas, it wasn't all marble, it was broken bricks, and you still have to walk barefoot. And that was a little bit hard on the feet, but you still do it, and it's fascinating.
Now, the next place is the Mandalay.
Mandalay. Oh, the road to Mandalay. I did the road to
Tell
Mandalay.
me about the history of this place.
Well, the Mandalay is virtually new because it was
On
built
the
by the
road to
British
Mandalay.
because Burma used to be a British colony. And it's 751 kilometres from Yangon. And so I caught a cab there because I thought, I want to go by road. I want to do the road to Mandalay. And it was an extraordinary trip because the countryside is just phenomenal.
beautiful.
And here we go. This is at Mandalay Hill, which overlooks the city. And it's huge. Once again, they've got temples on most of the hills. But it's extraordinary. And over there in the distance, you can see the Irrawaddy River. The Irrawaddy River is the main river in Burma. And it was in flood when I was there, and you can see it all.
It does look beautiful.
Oh,
Is it clean
see
or
how
is
many
it just the
temples-
vision I'm seeing? It looks
No, it's a very,
clean.
very clean city. It's a very, very clean place. Everything's clean. And they've got lots of these rice terraces, etc.
It's incredible,
But
yeah.
it's just an incredible place to go and visit. And the temples are extraordinary because they're all different. And there's there's gilt and gold and all sorts of stuff around
Is
them.
it
A lot of
a
people's
very wealthy
jewels.
place?
No, not as far as the local people is concerned. There's a lot of poverty there. Most people are farmers, or they're labourers. I mean, my hotel in Mandalay overlooked a building site, and men and women worked on the site. The safety boot of preference is a pair of thongs, and a lot of people were just barefoot. But the women, a cement mixer would come along, a cement truck would come along, pour out all the cement, and they'd put the concrete in woks, and it'd take two people, and they'd put them on a woman's head, and she would have to walk and tip it out. Likewise, they'd have about 16 bricks on their heads to cart that. And it's very, very basic lifestyle.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Like, is it ready for tourists? Like, if you and I were going to go back there,
tourism is good for the
hotels,
country
restaurants?
because tourism brings in currency, and it creates employment. So tourism is good for the country. Now, the other thing I did, because I'm going to do two parts. The next time I'm going to do my other travels, but this one I had a little cruise on the Irrawaddy River. Oh, this was just
incredible.
delightful. This is fantastic. One of the great rivers of the world. And I went down to a town called Mingun, which was probably about an hour and a half away, sailing down the river, and it's just a beautiful, smooth trip.
Does Irrawaddy mean anything? Is there a background?
They actually call it Ayawaddy. Irrawaddy is the English version of it. But it's not as busy as I thought, because normally this had been in flood, but the ferries that they have, you can get ferries
across
right down to Mandalay and stuff, but they weren't running at this stage. So I did a half-day cruise, and there's a lot of river there. But you go to these towns, and you go. I went to this temple at Mingung, and it was going to be massive. It was going to be bigger than the Great Pyramid of Egypt, of Cheops. And the guy started building it, and he built the first section, which was 50 metres high, and then he was going to build section 2 and section 3. And they had this massive great earthquake. This was in 1851, and it split the whole thing. And when you see there's this massive, great big holes in it, because they have a lot of earthquakes there, because it's at the base of the Himalayas.
Tell me about shopping, because I know we've got a couple of minutes to go, but I hear your wife Heather saying to me, is there shopping for me? And I like a bit of shopping. Is there enough shopping?
Don't tell her, she's in the studio. Shh. There is. I got some gifts there. No, there's heaps
There's plenty
of shopping.
to do, like food-wise.
There's a lot.
Well,
I'll tell you what, some of the things I saw there was because they all wear traditional dress, and men and women wear what they call a longi, which is like, and there's a lot of cloth there, a lot of things like scarves and materials. They make lacquerware there as well, and that's all handmade, and it's very intensive. But it's also, they have precious jewels there, rubies. It's probably the ruby capital of the world.
So if you had to pick a couple of reasons why we need to go to Myanmar. Myanmar,
yeah.
Tell me why we need to go there. Obviously, shopping's getting there.
Well, shopping would be the last
relaxing.
reason I would go there. The food is extraordinary. The people are fantastic. It is such an interesting country. It is a very, very different culture from anywhere else in Asia. The other thing is it's a very, very beautiful country. At this stage, it's pretty much undeveloped. So if you go there, what you are seeing is the Asia that we took, the Asia of Rudyard Kipling. The Asia of Rudyard
Bali
Kipling.
30 years ago, Lombok 20 years ago.
It's
seeing the
what
real
it's like.
people.
Vietnam 20 years ago, before it was sort of tourism took over.
Steve, we just need to thank a couple of people too. You went with AirAsia, they were wonderful.
AirAsia were great, but from Perth, there's good connecting flights.
Do you want to thank the Tourism Commission that took you there, or anyone else from the hotels? Anyone you want to plug?
Oh, yeah, look, I stayed in some really nice, but I stayed in local hotels, and I have to say there was one, the Bagan King Hotel in Mandalay, which is a little hotel, but it was gorgeous. It was just great to stay in. And the gracious Bagan Hotel in Bagan, and I'll talk about Bagan next time.
Beautiful.
Because that's where I had one of the best experiences of my life, singing karaoke with the Generals.
Well, I'm glad you went to the right karaoke, because when I went to Bali, karaoke had a different meaning.
I don't know what your meaning was.
But I'll leave that for the next show. Thank you very much. If you want more information about Steve Collins' travels, it always looks like a holiday, but he has an amazing time working when he's away. RadioRoaming.com, it's on the website there. What are we talking about next time, next fortnight?
We're going to go to Bagan, which is still
Bagan.
in Myanmar, but I have to talk about it because it's extraordinary.
Spin it to win it. We're going to talk about that after the break and tell you how to enter as well. But we'll go to a break and come back. Or want to do it now? Let's do it now. If you want to go to anywhere that Scoot flies, because they're wonderful people, it's very simple. All you have to do is be on our Spin It to Win It. You can fly to Singapore. That's where we're flying you. 2 tickets. From anywhere, Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, anywhere it flies. Not 1, 2 tickets, like our last week's contestant who won. All you have to do is put the code word, which is only going to be Scoot. It's on screen right now, SCOOT, your name, and you must put your address as well, so I know you're not related to me. Send it to 0439 929 929, 0439 929 929. Scoot's the word, and we'll bring you on Spin It to Win It, and you can win, and you can go to Singapore. We'll see you with more details after the break. Oh, we're going out crazy. After the break, more of The Couch. It's always a great pleasure on The Couch to interview local people who are just amazing. We've got a young girl and her mum that are amazing. Her name is Emily Price. She was a 2014 telethon child. That's back then. Now she's an amazing model, actress, ambassador, and great talent, and her mum's with her as well. Welcome to the show. Emily, first, welcome to The Couch. Nice to have you here. And thank you to Jen as well for bringing her in, because I know that Emily would drive here herself, but you wouldn't allow her. Emily, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 9 and I was the telethon child for 2014.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
What was your favourite part about being on telethon?
My favourite part about being on telethon was that I got to meet lots of stars.
I would have been there. I know you probably would have preferred to have met me. I was actually in the suit. They call me Fat Cat.
Oh, well, do you know, he's our favourite. Seriously, we love Fat
I
Cat.
was working that night, of course I can't tell you where.
I know.
But Jen, tell us a little bit about Emily's disability.
Sure. So Em and her twin sister were born at 29 weeks and spent the first 11 weeks of their life in hospital at King Edward. And she had a little bleed in her brain in those first few weeks, which basically we were later at one diagnosed with cerebral palsy. So for her it affects everything she does, and you know her legs are mainly affected, so she has spastic diplegia. Yes, so it's been a long, busy journey. I think
Would be as a mum. So both your daughters disabled?
They are
both
actually.
So you must be Mother Teresa, because I tell you, I know what one's like, because we've had many friends who've had disabled children. But you've got 2, and you're still bubbly. How do you keep going? I know you love your kids.
Yes.
And that's the main drive. But how do you do it? Would you get a lot of support around you?
We've got great family support. We've also obviously got amazing support through Princess Margaret Hospital. We've got a great therapy team with Ability Centre and some private therapists. But I think the thing is, you know, as a mum, obviously, I want life to be easier for her. So, you know, I was devastated initially that, you know, life was going to be a bit harder and we had a long-term disability. But I just got to the point where I thought I need her to know that she can do anything and be anything and never give up and never let her use her disability as an excuse.
There's a stigma out there in society. Once someone's disabled, they sit in a nursing home for the rest of our lives.
Once upon a time it was, you were seen and not heard. And you know, I'm so incredibly proud of her and her twin sister, and I just think if you embrace disability, and you know it is what it is, I can't change it, but I just feel like we get to sit on the sidelines watching a miracle in the making. We get seeing her doing amazing things that doctors said that she wouldn't be able to do, and she, you know, every day she does something that amazes me.
Well, Emily, you're only 9. Are you going to school at the moment?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying school?
Yeah.
You do? What would you like to be when you finish school and grow up? Where would you like to work?
I would like to be a vet and look after animals and
Ooh, I can see a pet segment coming up soon.
yeah.
Taylor, if you're watching, you've been replaced. No, look, would you really like to be a vet? Because there's no reason why you couldn't do it. But would you give up your modelling and acting and all the other things like meeting prime ministers and working on bets and all that stuff? No, you wouldn't give up. You'd do the whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I think that you're telling the truth because I know that you work very hard. We went through, we ran through some of the
Yes.
companies. Now, Bets for Kids
Yes.
is a shoe
Yes.
shop
Yes.
here in
Yep.
Australia. How was that? Did you enjoy being their model in the photo and everything, promoting kids' shoes?
Yeah, because I liked wearing lots of shoes and sometimes I get their shoes 3.
What girl doesn't love shoes, seriously?
And you get them for free? I wonder if they need somebody a little bit older. The Target magazine.
Yes.
How did she get into that?
There's an organisation in WA called
There it is there.
Starting with Julius, and they're all about ad inclusion, so inclusion of kids with disabilities in advertising. And they were approached by Target, and they'd seen some pictures of Emily and wanted to have Emily
Would this be
feature
the
in the
first
catalogues.
time that a disabled person has ever featured in a corporate magazine?
It's
Probably in a long time.
in a long time. Kmart sort of started that ball rolling, and Target have certainly. But she's the first cover girl with a disability.
Do you feel special? Do you get people come up to you and go, "You're the girl from Target,"
Yeah.
and do you go, "Oh no, I've done more than just Target"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you love being a star?
Yeah.
You do. What's the biggest thing apart from getting free shoes and maybe some free McDonald's because they'll probably want you next? What do you love about being a star?
It's pretty cool
Yeah.
because I get to,
You get to meet other stars and you get
Yeah.
to travel. Do you love your life? I mean, you're having a good time.
yeah.
Is there
Really.
something you really like to do that you haven't already?
To be on another cover of another magazine.
Yeah.
Which one would you like to be on? TV Week, maybe? Home and Away, Neighbours?
Yeah. That's the next thing we need to do is see kids with disabilities and people with disabilities represented, on TV. Have someone with a disability playing someone with a disability.
I was saying to you before, Jen, the whole thing is about inclusiveness.
Yes, it is.
It's not about saying, oh, we've got programs for disabled
Yeah.
kids. Here we go. It's about being seen.
It is.
To be included. And I think for Emily, is it nice for you, Emily, when you feel normal, when you actually feel like every other child, and you've got your friends that are from all different
Yeah.
backgrounds?
Yeah.
It really, a year ago when she said to me, why are there no kids with disabilities in magazines, I was actually a little bit sad that an 8-year-old recognised that she was being excluded. So for us, it was really important that, kids with disabilities get to see themselves because it's a part of their identity and, their self-esteem and that they're being seen. So it was important for so many more reasons. Just than her being in a catalogue, it was a whole
There's
picture.
a lot of issues there with disabilities.
Yes.
People are seeing they're stereotyped, and I think like I said to you at the start of this interview, I said to Jen, you don't want to just be the telethon child forever. You want to be seen as the model, the actor, the spokesperson, the ambassador, and a person that has a pretty cool life and is important to society because you want to have input. You want people to listen to you, don't you, Emily?
Yeah.
Now, Emily, you met the Prime Minister as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Was that pretty special? Did you know who that person was, or did you research them? Because I saw some photos of you and some amazing people, Danny Green, Julia Bishop, and you've also got the Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull. Who was he? And a policeman there.
Yep.
Who was that?
That was we met him a year ago when Emily did the freeway bike hike. When you were coming last, weren't you?
And he helped me cross the finish
He didn't
line.
arrest you for
No,
speeding?
he
No.
didn't.
I heard a different story. Obviously, my sources weren't right.
But do you know what? She was just about ready to give up, and he rode straight, right next to her, and he got you across the line, didn't he?
Emily,
Yeah.
what are you working on next? What's your next project? Is there anything big that you're working on? I know you're an ambassador for children, so you want kids to look up to you, and you're probably going to be working against Bully Free and all that sort of organisation, because it's really important. What are the issues that are important to you? What would you like to work with? What things do you want to solve in this world?
Do you want to see more people with disabilities?
Yeah, I want to see more people with disabilities in catalogues and stuff.
So you want to have more people to be recognised, like yourself,
Yeah.
living a normal life
Yeah.
and being part of society, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not just being treated as disabled people. Because you can be disabled, can't you? But you can still do everything like everybody else does.
Yeah.
What do we always say, Em?
You can do anything if you try hard enough.
Oh, look at me doing this TV show. Thank you very much for being on the show today. We would love to help you. Now, you've got a Twitter account that's all that there is at the moment.
And an Instagram.
Can you tell us the Twitter account? I think it's on screen at the moment.
So it's at Little Missy M _, and that's the same for her Twitter and Instagram account.
Little Missy.
Missy M, yeah.
Missy M.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, now you've started your television career. I'm going to have to have you back, I think, in about a month's time. Can you reckon you can come back and do something in about a month?
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I reckon, even if we talk about ex-presenters on the couch, say, like, start with Taylor Divatini if you want. No, she's wonderful. And you know what? Taylor's probably a role model which I would love to look up to, and you can maybe be even bigger than her, I reckon, easily. Fantastic work. Love having you here today. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did.
Fantastic. Now, thank you, Jen, as well. And if you would like to win some board games, Crown and Andrew are giving $300 away of board games today. We've got What's on My Head, Pop the Pig. Great game. And we've also got Huey Louie and, of course, the Sketchograph and much, much more. There's heaps of games there to keep the whole family entertained for hours. There you go. You've got Tapple. You've also got a new Rubik's Cube. You've got Split Second. And, there's a whole heap there. So if you want to win those games, all you have to do is put the code word, which is called CROWN. That's the code word, CROWN, CROWN. Put your name and address on an SMS. Send it to 0439 929 929. That's 0439 929 929. Code word is CROWN, and all you have to do is send that to us right now, and we're going to give away one every single week worth over $300. Thanks to Crown and Andrews, you can be a big winner and play games with us. Okay, time to take a break. Coming up after the break, Soa the Hulk talks to Cameron Lynch right there on the couch. See you then. Need a good book? I certainly have two of them. Face Your Fears. That is the book about this wonderful man, Soa the Hulk. We got the opportunity today to speak to him live in our studio, and I gave it up and gave it to Cameron. Now I regret it. Now over to you, Cameron. Enjoy the interview.
Thanks, Fred. And we all know, people deal with depression worldwide, millions of people, and a lot of help comes from gurus and self-appointed know-how and experts. But today's guest is an unlikely source of inspiration of how to overcome your fears and your depression from the world of MMA, that's mixed martial arts. Our guest today is a crowning champion here in Australia and worldwide, and we more than heartily welcome him to the couch. Welcome, Soa Pelele. I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
You have.
Yes, fabulous. Excellent. Thank you so much. So you've had an astounding life, and to pick one point to really jump off from is really, really tough for both myself and the audience. If you could just give us a quick background on how you grew up and how you sort of came to become basically Australia's champion or Australia's representative of mixed martial arts.
So I grew up I was born in Newcastle, New South Wales.
Right.
That's where I was born. Grew up in Tonga and gone back and forth. But yeah, spent most of my life in Newcastle.
Yep.
At a young age.
Yep.
And then we kind of moved up to a place called Groote Island, and then to WA.
Excellent.
There, so.
And you were attracted to sports through your youth, like through rugby, I think, and rugby team, and then you were obviously attracted to things like martial arts as well. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as an island kid, because I'm Tongan, so
of course. Yeah.
As an island kid, we grow up playing rugby and stuff. So I did play rugby, but I kind of went the other way. Obviously, the whole UFC and the mixed martial arts. Yeah.
Absolutely. And to say you were successful in the arena is quite understating. Your record is very, very impressive. Most of your wins are by punches, funnily enough.
Yeah.
But today, obviously, we're discussing your book, Face Your Fears, and we've just got some footage here of you doing your thing. And you're mostly discussing something that's not really prevalent in either in martial arts or elite sporting, and that's battling with emotional issues, and in this case, it's depression. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, I mean, basically, kind of that's why I kind of come out with the book. It's not all about my fight career. It's all about the growing up. Growing up in Newcastle, as a kid, I was physically abused as a kid. Ran away and kind of lived under someone's house.
Right. Wow.
In Newcastle, but and I was a 10-year-old kid.
Whoa.
And then obviously, fast forward, and you know, I was in WA, but it's kind of it's hard. It was hard kind of writing the book because it was kind of reliving stuff that happened when I was a kid, and then you know, and all that plays in the part of who I am today.
Absolutely.
You know, with the competing in you know in events like obviously the UFC, but yeah, it's been a long journey, a long and hard journey.
Absolutely.
The kind of depression and stuff that I've gone through has stemmed from a kid. But and you know, I didn't know how to deal with it. You know, until about a year and a half ago.
Absolutely.
Before I went and seen someone.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't go see someone, I probably would have been you know, probably would have committed suicide. That's for sure.
Wow. So it was getting that sort of critical level where you basically were crying for help, but didn't really know how to sort of communicate that.
Yeah.
And I think also as an athlete at your level, and also the nature of your sport, as in mixed martial arts, you're seen as this alpha male.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who, you know, especially with your winning streak and your aggressive style. And so there's that, it's almost like the way you're expected is thrust upon you by society. And you feel if you can't live up to that, that's going to disappoint people. So you sort of suppress it, but then that doesn't make you happy. And I think with this in particular, I find it amazing that you're able to talk about this because from where you are, a lot of people look up to you. You have a massive following on social media. Even before this, you were tweeting things out and clicking things around. It's fantastic. But I think, so that's obviously getting with people, engaging them on a digital level. But also, I think especially men, older men or things like that, who can't relate to the sort of psychiatry and psychological and guru side of it, but can relate to someone in an elite sporting field. I think that's really important. It's really breaking down those barriers and really helping people who might need the help to get out. And when you come out and say, I needed help and this really helped me, I'm here, I wouldn't be here otherwise, I think that's really, really amazing. Do you feel that that is sort of the main driver of your book and the work you're doing at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because if I can help, you know, men, you know, women, I mean, the suicide in Australia is huge. I mean, especially with, there's more suicide in men than women because women can talk about their problems. You know, men can't really talk about their problems.
No.
Yeah. And they tend to bottle it in. That's what I did.
Absolutely.
And the main thing is you got to talk. You got to talk to someone about something or see someone about it.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's what I've done.
Yeah.
And you know, this whole stigma with, you know, guys can't talk because they're, you know,
absolutely,
they're you know, you're weak if you say something. But look at me, I'm a UFC, you know.
No one's going to call you weak anytime soon.
UFC fighter, and you know, I stepped in there in the octagon and with the best of them, you know, and fighting in front of millions and millions of people.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's you know, I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
And my main goal now is to spread the word and get it out there as you know, as far as we can, and we're visiting schools.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say,
inspirational talks and stuff at schools,
yep.
and yeah, that's what we kind of.
Excellent. And yeah, and I mean, it takes one level of bravery to do what you do as your job in mixed martial arts, but it takes another level of bravery to come out and admit when you need assistance and when you need help. And I think guys especially will hopefully resonate with that and they'll go, well, if he's able to do it at the top of his game, then it shouldn't be an issue for me. And also I think you understand you're reaching out to sort of people who work in the mine sites and things like that because they suffer with issues of depression.
Absolutely. Yeah. The thing is, I'm not a fighter.
Yes.
Yeah, like, even though this like what I do in UFC, but I use this whole UFC kind of, you know, mixed martial arts to kind of get all the frustrations out. You know, when I walk into that cage, the door, you know, the octagon, you know, the door closes. And my thing is when I look across the octagon and I see my opponent.
Yes.
I don't see my opponent. I see the person that that hurt me when I was a kid.
Wow. Okay.
So I see that person, and I think, well, what do you know? Even though I think to myself, I say, what are you going to do to me?
Yeah.
That I haven't had done to me.
Absolutely.
You know, I've got broken bones, broken everything. Like, what are you going to put me through? That I've already been there before.
Yeah.
You know, and
so the means to an end, absolutely. Yeah. It's amazing. And this book is about healing yourself, about healing other people. And like you said, you're not a fighter. You're also an actor as well. You've got a few movies that you've done already and on the way, which is very exciting. Where can people find out more about you and your work?
They can hop on soldthehawk.com.
Yep, soldthehawk.com.
Yeah,
Yep,
and
absolutely.
my social media, everything's soldthehawk.com.
Yep, we've got this popping up there as well. Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And the
and-
book, Face Your Fears, is out now, and you can get that via, I think, booktopia.com and all major retailers. It's doing rather well, I believe.
Really well,
Yes.
yeah. It
Any ideas how well you're doing in? I think you're in the
I think it was number 11.
number 11
Yeah.
in the bestseller charts.
Yeah,
Wow, and it's only been out for a few weeks. Fabulous
it's in
stuff.
Dymocks, all over Dymocks and stuff. So it's doing really well.
Excellent.
And it's creating that message out there where how to just people reading it and think, wow, if the Hulk can do it, if he's gone and talked to someone, maybe
Yep.
We can do it as well. So.
Precisely. Excellent. Thank you so much for your time, So. I really appreciate you here on The Couch. And once again, if you'd like any more information, thecouch.com.au or sothehawk.com is where you can find out more about it. And that's about it. Back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much, Cameron. And just before we go, I know we've got about a minute spare up our sleeve. We'll go to overtime for a minute or so.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the movie Convergence. When can we expect to see that happening?
Oh, I think that's I think end of August, I think.
So it's still time for me to be recruited, or you've
Yeah,
pretty much done
we're
all
going
the
to have
role?
to talk to the director, actually.
Can I ask you what your role is going to be in that?
I can't really say, I think, much
Will
about
you
it.
be taking off your shirt at any time?
Does The Rock take off his shirt in the movies?
Well, ladies and some men, look out for it. Thank you very much for coming in today. This is an amazing book, an Australian MMA fighter, amazing true story of hardship, belief and redemption. Check out our website if you missed any of the details, thecouch.com.au. He is a truly amazing Australian. If you need some help as well with depression, it's a very serious topic. 131114, 131114 is of course Lifeline. Give them a call and they'll talk to you. If you can't, you ring me and I'll help you as well. Thank you very much for being on The Couch today. Thank you to Soa, thanks to Cameron, thanks to all the crew that worked hard today. Thank you to our fantastic sound guy that came back and helped us today, Peter McIntosh. Thank you to our camera people, Patrick, Brendan, and of course Kayla, Tony, and all the crew here at The Couch. We're going to go out today, and I think I forgot one person as well, Vision Kelly as well, and Adrian, our director. That is it from your local Couch Show. Episode 565 comes to an end. We'll see you next week for 566. We'll go out today with a great band called In Valor, and the song is How to Live. Oh, close enough. There it is. We'll see you next week.
We got a voice, come on and shout it out. Everyone come round and make a sound. Oh, oh, oh. Sing, oh, oh, oh. Feel the beat, it's rattling your bones. Loosen up till you are feeling whole. Oh, oh, oh. Sing, oh, oh, oh. In this dark I lay here waiting for the sun to shine right through. I'm laying down these weapons covered in armor of you. Forgive me, these thoughts are not your thoughts. Forgive me, these thoughts are my own. And all I see are the parameters of limit.